Hi everyone, welcome to another edition of the DJ Roscoe Sports Show for this Saturday, late Saturday night, October 23rd, 2021, coming live Palatial State here in Dallas, Pennsylvania. This week, if it's Saturday, it must be minimum sports talk right here on the DJ Roscoe Sports Show. Very happy with you once again. Keep me awake. I got my tasty gushers, I got my Mio caffeine drink, and I'm ready to go. I'm watching some of the playoff baseball game right now. It looks like the Dodgers are gonna fail to repeat as World Series champions because unless they make a furious comeback, we're heading to the bottom seventh inning, and the Atlanta Braves on their home field in Game 6 of the National League Championship Series are up 4-2, and they're looking to avenge last year when they were up 3-1 to the Dodgers, and the Dodgers came all the way back and beat the Braves to go to the World Series. And of course, the Atlanta Braves have not been to the World Series since 1999. 22 years ago. That's a while ago. My little sister wasn't even born yet, and she's 20 years old now. It was in the last century, back when the Braves made the World Series almost every single year with Greg Maddux, John Smoltz, Tom Glavine, Chipper Jones, and all those great players. But so it's been a while. They've had a lot of great teams and playoff teams since that have fallen apart and kind of choked a little bit in the playoffs. Well, last year when they fell apart, now up 3-1 and losing three straight to the Dodgers. But it looks like tonight, finger crossed for the Atlanta Brave faithful, they're going to hold on and they will go to the World Series, and the Dodgers are going to fail to. They've had a lot of injury problems, the Dodgers. Max Muncy's been hurt. Max Scherzer couldn't pitch today because he's been hurt. Possibly could pitch tomorrow in Game 7 if there is a Game 7 tomorrow, but right now it looks like it's going to end tonight in Game 6 with Atlanta winning. We all know about the Trevor Bauer situation. He's been on paid administrative leave. He's been on paid leave, I think, since June or whatever, dealing with his very serious legal issues. So he's been out. So the Dodgers have been without some key players. Clayton Kershaw, they're one of their ace lefty pitchers for so many years. He's been out. He came back late in the year, then felt the elbow pain again. So without key members on their offense and their pitching staff, the Dodgers are not the same team, but they still came through with some big heroics, knocked off the Giants in the National League. In the National League Division Series in 5 games, beat the Cardinals on a walk-off home run in the wild card game, and the Cardinals for some reason then fired their manager, even though they won 17 straight games in a row. He looks like he'll get a job pretty quickly, maybe for the San Diego Padres, who struggled down the stretch and with all their talent failed to make the playoffs. But it looks like here they might just fall short to the Braves. But if that's the case, we'll have a new champion, and it'll be the Atlanta Braves in the World Series against the Houston Astros. Game 1 would be Tuesday night. Game 1 would be in Houston. As the Astros had the better record, the Braves only won 88 games this year, where the Dodgers won 106 games. But it'd be everyone loves to hate him, and I can't stand him as a big Yankee fan. The Houston Astros with their cheating scandal, no one really ever paid the price besides the two managers, even though they got manager jobs again. AJ Hinch is now the Detroit Tigers manager, and Alex Cora is back on the Red Sox and did a great job with the Red Sox again this year, where no one expected them to do anything, and they made the playoffs, beat the Yankees in the wild card, and then beat the Tampa Bay Rays, the division champions in the division series, and gave a heck of a run to the Houston Astros. They were up 2-1, crushing grand slams. Looked like the series over. The Red Sox were just destroying it, and then their offense just went quiet. The Houston Astros pitching staff, which they seemed like they had been worn out, they found a way to quiet the Red Sox powerful bats. They got some big timely hits by Correa and Altuve and all those big time players. And Alvarez was the ALCS MVP. So last night on Friday night, when I was covering the football game at Northwest High School with the big rivalry game, Holy Redeemer knocking off Holy Cross in a revenge game, it was also week 1, 34-28. This time they won 49-30. I got to cover that game in Chickasha, Pennsylvania. I love saying that name, Chickasha, Pennsylvania. I think that's where Kristen Ritter, the talented actress, is from. And she was Jessica Jones in the Marvel show on Netflix, and maybe we'll be back in Marvel again real soon. Superhero show, but so I was doing that, but I came home while I was writing the article and got to see the Houston Astros going to make their third World Series appearance in 5 seasons, even with all the scandals, and people still accusing them of cheating. Well, right now it seems like they're doing it on the up and up. They're just talented players, and that's what annoys me with their cheating scandal, with banging garbage cans allegedly, and all the other potential things they could have been doing, allegedly using a buzzer. Who knows? Because they seem to be a damn good team without all that. So the Houston Astros have been to 5 straight American League Championship Series. 3 World Series appearances in 5 years, and now will try to win their second World Series championship, going with the 2017 one, which I still kind of wish that baseball would have taken away from them to prove a point that you cannot get away with cheating. But they are the 2017 World Series champions from 4 years ago, lost in 2019 to the Washington Nationals in 7 games. And now look to they are back in the World Series, and Game 1 most likely will be in Houston this Tuesday night, 8 o'clock, and right now it looks like it'll be against Atlanta Braves, even though it would have been a really, as they would say, quote-unquote, sexy matchup between the Dodgers and Astros, and the Dodgers can't stand the Astros, and the Dodgers would love to get some revenge from what happened in 2017 when the Houston Astros, with their alleged cheating scandal, knocked off the heavily favored Dodgers in the World Series, and even though the Dodgers won the World Series 3 years later, last year in 2020, the Dodgers feel like they were, wrongfully taken. A World Series was stolen from them by a cheating team like the Astros did then, and the Yankees lost in a tough 7-game series in the ALCS in 2017 and 2019. So either way, the Houston Astros find a way. They keep getting there. They're going to be in the World Series, probably against the Atlanta Braves. It would have been cool to see against the Dodgers. See the Dodgers try to get revenge against the Houston Astros, and that was the defending champions. But I think the Houston Astros and Atlanta Braves will be an exciting World Series. Astros, like I said, been in the World Series a bunch lately. Braves had a lot of success, haven't been in the World Series in 22 years since 1999, and that's when American Pie, the first one, came out. So, and the Matrix first one came out, and they're having a Matrix 4 coming to HBO Max soon. So it's been a while. It's been 22 years. So I think Braves and Astros is going to be a great World Series. If I had to pick right now, I'm going to go with the Houston Astros knocking off the Atlanta Braves, using that home field advantage, and winning 6 games to win the World Series. Even though the guy you could definitely root for, though, even if you don't like the Astros, and you still boo them and give them the villain and banging garbage cans. Dusty Baker looks like he has a good chance to win his first ever World Series championship as a manager after they fell short in 2002 with Barry Bonds and the Giants. They came all the way back. The LA Angels beat them in the World Series over the Giants. Now it looks like Dusty Baker seems like a class act on and off the field as a player and as a coach, and looks like he's going to be potentially winning the World Series this year after he took over such a troubled situation last year with the scandal. So Game 1 of the World Series looks like it's going to be Atlanta Braves, Houston Astros, Tuesday night on Fox at 8 o'clock. So check that out, World Series. And if it goes the distance, which I hope it does, because I'm a baseball junkie, I love it, it could potentially go until November 3rd. So get your winter coats. It's going to be frigid. So that's the news of baseball. The Yankees have re-signed Aaron Boone. He will be back. 3-year contract extension with an option for a 4th year, more than I thought they would give him. But he's back. He's done a solid job. Even though people, even I have sometimes will criticize some of his moves that he's done. Taking some players out, handling the bullpen sometimes. But overall, he's done a solid job. But he's going to have basically a whole new coaching staff with him because Phil Nevin, the third base coach, has been fired after the boneheaded sent Aaron Judge to score in that wild card game, got thrown out by like 20 feet. That first base coach has been removed. Their hitting coach has been removed. I think the pitcher coach is still there, Matt Blake, but the Yankees are going to have basically a brand new coaching staff alongside, though, Aaron Boone, who will return as his 5th season as the manager of the Yankees in 2022. He's made in the playoffs all 4 years since coming to the Yankees, but still has not gotten that big World Series title win in the 28th championship the Yankees are still pursuing. We'll see what they do in the offseason. After kind of a very inconsistent year that made the playoffs but fell short. A lot of the high championship expectation of the Yankees, if you don't win a championship, it's considered a down year for the New York Yankees. So that's the talk in baseball. Basketball hockey have gotten underway. The Pittsburgh Penguins got a nice 7-1 win over the Toronto Maple Leafs tonight. The Baby Penguins are on the road tomorrow on Sunday, October 24th, against the Lehigh Valley Phantoms. Their next home game is this Wednesday at Mohegan Sun Arena at Casey Plaza in Wilkes-Barre, PA. The Baby Penguins, I think, against Lehigh Valley Phantoms, again, the Flyers AHL team, this Wednesday, 7:05. Check it out. They just played on Friday night. The Baby Pens have won 2-1 in overtime. They were going to play on the road against Lehigh Valley tomorrow, and then be at home on Wednesday in Wilkes-Barre against Lehigh Valley, one of their arch rivals, them and Hershey Bears and all that stuff. So support Tux, the Baby Penguins, Benny and the Penguins, as we call it, instead of Benny the Jets, Benny and the Penguins. Hockey's back in full force. Very excited about that. Basketball back in full force. The Knicks are 2-0. Hallelujah, hallelujah. They're playing well, playing great basketball. They got the celebrities back in the Lakers games who are struggling. They're on two. Lost the Golden State Warriors and Phoenix Suns first two games against two tough opponents. And Stephen Curry played great with Golden State. Suns made the NBA Finals last year. So the Lakers, maybe some panic. Russell Westbrook is going to try to be incorporating that offense with Carmelo Anthony. LeBron James still playing great in year number 19. And Anthony Davis. We'll see how that all gels together. One NBA title about a year ago. Fell short last year when they got knocked out of the first round by the Suns. Of course, the Milwaukee Bucks with another great run with Giannis. So we'll see what Milwaukee does for an encore. Toronto Raptors are back at home finally with home fans and Drake. Drake, the biggest celebrity in Canada, going to the basketball games, been a Toronto Raptor fan. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. The Brooklyn Nets, they beat the Philadelphia 76ers yesterday. They're playing still without Kyrie Irving because he doesn't want to get vaccinated. So we'll see what happens. Will he relent? Will he get traded? Right now, Kevin Durant, James Harden, great team. They even got LaMarcus Aldridge back, Blake Griffin. They're trying to do their best without Kyrie Irving, a great star who is sometimes a lot to handle what he's going to do. So we'll see what happens with Brooklyn with high championship or bust expectations. The Sixers had to kick Ben Simmons out of practice. He doesn't seem to want to be there. He wants to be traded. But now everyone basically is looking at him like he's damaged goods because he seems to be such a headache and will he cooperate with everyone. So and he can't really shoot the basketball well. He's a good defender, good passer, but right now it seems to be a headache in Philadelphia who has championship aspirations of their own. Joel Embiid says, I can't really, rely on this guy anymore. So we'll see. It's been the best in Philly. I think they're going to have to just find a way to part ways with Ben Simmons. I don't see that working out. I think too much has happened. So basketballs came out with their 75th anniversary basketball team, so a lot of snubs, a lot of people you expect to be on it. So interested to see what goes on there. I know Klay Thompson did not like being snubbed and left off the team. Allen Iverson made it though. A lot of other great players made it. Dwight Howard did make it. So basketball well underway. Back finally, and hockey back better than ever. Penguins won today. Pittsburgh, baby Penguins back in action, back at home this Wednesday. Check them out in Wilkes-Barre. So that's basketball and hockey. Baseball World Series looks like it's going to be Astros, I think, knocking off the Braves in 6 games. And now football. Penn State lost a heartbreaker to a horrible 2-5, now 3-5 Illinois Fighting Illini. They didn't score many points. I think it was 10-10 going to overtime. And now they do these like sudden death, basically 2-point conversion overtimes after like the third overtime, I think it is. Which is a new thing, so you just go for 2-point conversion. So they end up losing 20-18 in 9 overtimes, the most overtimes ever in college football history. So I don't really like the new college football rule, but it's pathetic that Penn State, coming off a bye week after a heartbreaker loss to Iowa on the road, they get their injured quarterback Sean Clifford back. They didn't score many points. Scored a touchdown early. We're up 7-0. Didn't score many points after that, and they ended up losing a heartbreaker 20-18. So their playoff hopes are basically over. I love my Penn State. We are Penn State, but disappointed. So now they're 5-2. Lost 2 in a row. Lose to a bad Illinois team. A big conference loss. Now lost 2 games in the conference, and they still have some big games to play. They play on the road against Ohio State in primetime the night before Halloween next Saturday night, October 30th. Should be a great game, but that's going to be a tough one for the Penn State to win. Especially on the road, not at home in a whiteout game with all their excitement with their fans. They still have to play Michigan, who's undefeated, and then Michigan State, who's a tough team. So it's going to be a tough road for Penn State. Hopefully they can bounce back. Have to start off 5-0 and had championship aspirations there, 5-2, and lose to Illinois 2018. Notre Dame, though, congrats to Notre Dame. They gave up. They got a little scared because were up 24-3 early in the fourth quarter. USC came storming back, got it to 24-16, but Notre Dame scored a late touchdown. Win at 31-16 over their arch rival USC Trojans, hailing from California. Big time rivalry, and Notre Dame gets the win. So they remain in the playoff hunt with only 1 loss from early in the season. When they lost to Cincinnati. So congrats to Notre Dame on the win. Tough loss for Penn State. Now let's get into it. Week 7 of the NFL football season. It's flying right by. Quickly, the bye weeks this week. Bills are off after they had a tough game on Monday Night Football. I picked that one correctly with the Tennessee Titans winning a close one. They go for on fourth one when it's a stupid move because I know you say go for the win. If you're at the 1 yard line, I can see playing for the win and try to ram it in with Josh Allen, big time run and throw quarterback, big body bashing it in for a quarterback sneak. But you're at the 7-8 yard line. Even if you get the first down, you're still probably gonna have to kick a field goal. So you might as well kick the chip shot field goal, play for overtime, and have a chance to win instead they get stopped on fourth one. Titans win, so the Bills have a bye week to sit on that tough loss to the Tennessee Titans on Monday Night Football. Even though I still think the Bills will be pretty solid along the way. The Cowboys had a thrilling win in overtime against the New England Patriots, get back and forth, and they found a way to beat Bill Belichick, the New England Patriots. And so the Cowboys have a bye week, play great. Dak Prescott needs to heal up because he was in a walk, but a boot has a calf injury. Hopefully he'll be back better than ever, but they come back for the bye week. Jacksonville Jaguars finally got their first win. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Trevor Lawrence, Sunshine, Ronnie Bass with the long, pretty handsome brother hair, and Urban Meyer with his scandals. Who knows if he'll make it through the whole year as the head coach. Get the win. They beat the Miami Dolphins in two. It was struggling. And I was talking the Miami Dolphins might actually pull the trigger and trade for Deshaun Watson, even with his legal situation that's very up in the air if he'll be allowed to play. But the Miami Dolphins might be desperate if they might trade for the great, talented but very questionable right now. Would he be able to play Deshaun Watson? With two is struggling. So the Jacksonville Jaguars beat Miami Dolphins 23-20 in London. So Jacksonville Jaguars have a bye week coming off that, but they get a nice win in London. Finally get the first win of the season. Congrats to Urban Meyer and Trevor Lawrence on that. LA Chargers, who were playing pretty solid football, they have a bye week. Minnesota Vikings playing pretty well. They have a bye week. And the Pittsburgh Steelers, my wife's Steelers, had a great time for her birthday, our 6th wedding anniversary in Pittsburgh. They get the win. It could have went either way with Russell Wilson healthy. They probably lose that game. Russell Wilson was there. With his fingers would be kind of got mangled in that nasty looking injury. Had the cast on, was there when they were doing the coin toss and everything, but it would have been cool to see him play. But Geno Smith gets a costly turnover. That's what he did a lot with my Jets, my Jets. TJ Watt was a beast, punching the ball out, punching the balls out when he wasn't supposed to. He just that's his way to force fumbles. But TJ Watt, the Pittsburgh Steelers defense, just dynamic. Held the Seahawks in check, even when they were coming sort of back with a ferocious running attack late in that game, and they go into overtime, and the Steelers go a walk-off field goal win by Chris Boswell after the big TJ Watt turnover that set it up, and the rest of the history. We got to see the Steelers win on a walk-off overtime field goal, 23-20. So they're 3-3, have a bye week, and we'll play the Cleveland Browns with a banged-up Baker Mayfield who couldn't play yesterday, on Thursday, or 2 days ago on Thursday Night Football. Either they still won with Casey Keenum, won 17-14 over the Broncos on Thursday Night Football. A nice win. They're 4-3. Broncos, who were 3-0, are now 3-4. But now Baker Mayfield with the torn labrum, trying to play through it. We'll see if he can play on Halloween, 1 o'clock in Cleveland next Sunday on October 31st for the Steelers on the bye week. So 1, 2, 3, 6 teams are off. Bills, Cowboys, Jaguars, Chargers, Vikings, and the Pittsburgh Steelers are all off this Sunday. So as I said, Thursday Night Football, Cleveland Browns knocked off the Denver Broncos 17-14. Nice win for the Cleveland Browns, much needed for them. Now Sunday, October 24th, the early 1 o'clock games. The Carolina Panthers with Sam Darnold, they started off 3-0. They're now lost 3 in a row. They're 3-3. No Christian McCaffrey while he's on the IR. He could be out, I think, till at least week 9. It's got to be interesting. It's not against the Jets. They played the Jets week 1 in Carolina. The Carolina Panthers edged out the Jets in a close game. But it's going to be the first time Sam Darnold goes back to MetLife Stadium, his home for the first 3 seasons of his pro career when he played for the Jets. But this time we'll play on the road against the New York Giants, the other New York team. And so we'll see what happens there with Robbie Anderson and company, all their talented players. But, of course, no Christian McCaffrey is a big loss. But I think they have a pretty good chance to win this one. But the Giants, I think they're going to be chomping at the bit. But a lot of injuries. With Saquon Barkley banged up. Daniel Jones came back last week. Got crushed by the Rams last week. I'm going to go with the Carolina Panthers. And I think that both teams aren't that great, especially without McCaffrey for Carolina healthy. But I think Sam Darnold and Carolina and their ferocious defense will do just enough. Daniel Jones, the Giants, so banged up right now with all their injuries. I just can't pick them, even at home in New York. I think Carolina beats the New York Giants. I'll go 27-20 to improve to 4-3 and break their 3-game losing streak. Giants continue their horrible season. That's 1 o'clock on Fox. 1 p.m. on CBS. My Jets. They have a bye week after losing to the Atlanta Falcons 2 weeks ago in London, England, a close game where they had a ferocious comeback where they were getting blown out. They came back, only lost by 7, 27-20. But I think on the road against the New England Patriots, I give them a chance. Hopefully they air it out they give their young quarterback Zach Wilson a chance to throw those big bombs downfield to Corey Davis and company. But in the end, I like the Jets. They show some positive signs, but I think they're still going to have a horrible year, and they're going to fall, I think, to 1-5. And the New England Patriots will beat them earlier this season when it was in Jersey, when the Jets were at home. They're going on the road to New England. Bill Belichick's going to be mad as heck. He's not going to take it more after losing a heartbreaker to the Cowboys at home in New England. The Patriots at home, coming off a tough loss. Mac Jones, the rookie quarterback, he struggles at times, but it also shows some signs where he could be the potential quarterback of the future that they're all hoping to be. Though I don't think he'll ever be close to what Brady was. I think Bill Belichick's realized that how much he misses Brady now with all the success Brady's having in Tampa and all the struggles New England's having. Probably going to not make the playoffs for the second year in a row after all those great years of championships and playoffs year after year. So, but I think New England has enough at home to beat the Jets as much as I can. I hate to say it. The big rivalry game. Still can't stand the Patriots. I can't stand the Patriots and the Cowboys. But I think in the end, the Patriots, if I'm going to have to be honest, are going to beat the Jets. I'll go with 23-16. They win by a touchdown over my Jets. 1 o'clock on CBS. And then they'd be 3-4. The Patriots and Jets 1-5. 1 o'clock on CBS. Big time matchup. The Kansas City Chiefs. They eventually pulled it out. They looked ugly for a while. Closer game than it should have been. Beat Washington. They're only 3-3. Pat Mahomes has still turned the ball at record rates for him. Seems to really force it down the field, trying desperately to get it down the field. And they're struggling. The defense is struggling for Kansas City. But Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill have been banged up. They're supposed to play this game on the road in Tennessee. This is a really tough game. I'm actually going to go with Tennessee here. I think the Chiefs still have a pretty good chance to find a way to get in the playoffs if it's just as a wild card team. This is not the same Chiefs team. They're struggling. They barely beat Washington last week. They're 3-3. Tennessee is a tough team. Derrick Henry running the ball with so much power. Ryan Taylor making some positive plays out there. Mike Vrabel, strong defense. They beat the Buffalo Bills last week on Monday Night Football at home. They're at home this week. Pat Mahomes got to play the game of his life. I think the Titans are going to force some turnovers there with that strong defense. And I think Derrick Henry's going to run the heck with that ball. Best running back in football. One of the best players in all of football. I'm going to go with the Tennessee Titans. It's going to be a close game. Kansas City might be able to pull out Pat Mahomes, but I still think in the end it's not the same dominant Kansas City team. I think Tennessee wins this game. I'm going to go with 27-24. They win on a late field goal. Tennessee Titans win, and what could be the game of the day: Kansas City and Tennessee on CBS. Tennessee wins over Kansas City 27-24. 1 o'clock on Fox. The Washington football team at the Green Bay Packers. The Packers are rolling. They lost that first game of the season. Everyone panicked. They got crushed by James Winston and the New Orleans Saints. Well, I'm about to say Brad Favre. Aaron Rodgers said, "Relax." Well, he's not washed up. I still think this is probably his last year at Green Bay, and will want to prove a point, want to win elsewhere like Brady did after he left New England. But he's played like a great football like we knew he could. And Devontae Adams, a great wide receiver, best wide receiver in football. Packers are playing great. They're 5-1. They beat the Bears. He said, "I owe you to Chicago fans." Knocked off the Bears last week, who's been crushed year after year in that division. Washington, good pass rush for Chase Young and company, but just not enough consistency on offense. I think the Packers, they're going to try and keep in check Washington's defense, but I think the Packers are going to roll over them. I'm going to say Aaron Rodgers and the Packers easily win this game. I say they double them up 34-17, and Green Bay continues their hot streak. I think Renee will be happy with that. We'll be from 0-1 to 6-1. I think they'll win their sixth straight and win over Washington 34-17. 1 o'clock on Fox, the Atlanta Falcons at the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins stink. They just came off a tough loss to the previous winless Jacksonville Jaguars in the Battle of Florida in London, England. Pip, pip, cheerio, and all that. 2 days of starter might be numbered. Just not enough consistency. They're struggling. The defense is not doing what it's supposed to do. Brian Flores, that's his specialty defense. They might trade for Deshaun Watson. We'll see if that happens. What they have to give up for him. Will he be allowed to play at that point with all the legal issues? We'll see. But I think for now, It'll be an interesting game. I'm going to go with the Atlanta Falcons here. I'm saying that I don't really like either team. I think both teams kind of stink. I think it's going to be an ugly game, but I think Matt Ryan, the veteran quarterback of Atlanta, proud football player, is going to do enough out there, and I think the Falcons are going to win a close game, ugly game. I'll go with 23-20. Just like last week, why we lost to Jacksonville 23-20, I'll go with Atlanta. Beating Miami 23-20 on the road to Miami, and Miami might pull the lever and get Deshaun Watson after losing this game. 1 o'clock on CBS, the Cincinnati Bengals play very solid football with Joe Burrow playing amazing as he could. Could be a great matchup, divisional AFC North division rivalry for years to come with two great young quarterbacks with Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson, two former Heisman Trophy winners, and now two great quarterbacks in that division. So hopefully it'll be a great rivalry for years to come. Bengals are playing pretty solid with Joe Burrow's return after that knee injury that upended the last few games of his rookie season. It was stellar. Now year two, Lamar Jackson play MVP caliber football, run and throw that football so well. Defense strong, overcoming so many injuries. I'm going to still say the Baltimore Ravens are one of the best teams of football, as much as I can't stand them. And I know my wife kids them as a diehard Steeler fan in that division. I think Bengals, Joe Burrow's going to put up a fight here, but I think in the end, Lamar Jackson, Baltimore, too much here at home. I think Baltimore's going to take this one. I'll go with 30-23. They win by a touchdown. Baltimore over the Bengals in a big time division rivalry game, 1 o'clock CBS. Now for the later games, 4:05 on Fox. The Detroit Lions, still the last winless team in football, 0-6. They should have won some games earlier, including the Justin Tucker record-breaking 66-yard field goal at the buzzer to beat them. It was a heartbreaker when Baltimore beat them earlier in the year. Detroit, this is going to be an interesting matchup, though. It's Jared Goff, who used to play for the Rams, took them to the Super Bowl, was a top draft pick by them, and Sean McVay kind of got rid of him because as much as he appreciated what he could do, knew he was limited, more of a game manager. So he's gonna want to get revenge. Bad as heck, he's not gonna take it more, proving that he's the scored ex lover or mate of the team. Want to prove to Sean McVay that he made a mistake, but I think in the end, Sean McVay made the right move. Matthew Stafford's the better quarterback by far. Throw the ball downfield with so much more power, not limited to that offense. Jared Goff's ceiling was much lower. With Matthew Stafford, the sky's the limit. So I think Matthew Stafford would be happy he got to have Detroit, get to play Detroit, his former team who will want to light them up. Jared Goff's got a real chip on his shoulder trying to beat up on his former mates in L.A. But I think the game at home in L.A., Detroit Lions stink. Jared Goff is going to put up a couple touchdowns, do best he can, but Aaron Donald, that ferocious L.A. Rams defense is going to be on him. Jalen Ramsey and company going to force some turnovers. And in the end, Sean McVay's offense is a juggernaut. I think with him, Cooper Kupp, Matthew Stafford, LA Rams at home, they're going to take this one easily over the winless Lions, who knows, maybe they were the first 0-16 winless team, maybe they'll be the first 0-17 winless team now that they've added a game to the schedule for more misery of that horrible Detroit Lion team. Feel bad for the fans of Detroit because that team stinks. LA Rams are going to easily win this one. I'll go with 34-20. Lions make it somewhat respectable, but they win by 2 touchdowns, 34-20, 4:05 on Fox. LA Rams win. 4:05 on Fox for all the local fans, the Philadelphia Eagles, Eagles, Eagles. They're going to play on the road against the Vegas Raiders, who I thought were going to have a lot of trouble last week. Being blindsided by the whole John Gruden scandal, and John Gruden abruptly resigned after those horrible, just terrible emails that were said. It's crazy that some of the emails were from years ago, but still horrible things that he said. Very derogatory comments. John Gruden now left, and you wondered how they were going to rally the troops. Special teams coach now became the interim head coach, and Derek Carr, the Raiders' top-notch quarterback, he said it kind of bonded them together, that they had to really push through and overcome this crazy scandal that no one really expected they were going to have to deal with. So they found a way to beat the Broncos last week. I'm actually going to say the Raiders are going to win this week. I would love to see the Eagles win. I think a lot of our local fans in Pennsylvania would love to see them win. But I think in the end, the Raiders at home in Vegas, the Raider fans are going to be crazy out there. They're going to be excited. I think the Raiders are going to try to I thought it was either going to push them further apart or bring them closer. It looks like it's going to do the opposite that I thought. I could be wrong, but I think it was only one game against the Broncos in Denver. But I think at home in Vegas, I think it's going to bring them closer together. They're going to want to win in spite of the crazy scandal that they had to deal with. The players are going to step up here. So I think Derek Carr, the Raiders, are going to have a solid game. Eagles are going to try their best. They lost a tough one a little over a week ago on Thursday Night Football to Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. Jalen Hurts, I think, will play a solid game, but I think in the end, Raiders win a close one. I'll go with 27-23. They win by 4 points over the Eagles, and the Raiders are going to overcome all the crazy obstacles they've had to overcome this year, and the Eagles are going to lose another close heartbreaker. 27-23, 4-5 on Fox. So 4:25 on CBS, the horrible Houston Texans. I don't know who's worse, the Detroit Lions or the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans have a win this year, but the Houston Texans stink. They're going to play on the road against the Arizona Cardinals. So it's going to be J.J. Watt, who played all those great years for the Houston Texans, winning all those Defensive Player of the Year awards, taking them to the playoffs, and DeAndre Hopkins, who Bill O'Brien, when he was the Texans coach, doing a horrible job there, especially as their general manager, pushed them out the door. J.J. Watt then signed in the offseason with Arizona. So J.J. Watt, DeAndre Hopkins, former Houston Texans, now Arizona Cardinals. They're the only undefeated team left in football. 6-0. Kyler Murray, that offense is dynamic. Cliff Kingsbury, their star head coach, offensive guru, genius. He was out last week with COVID. They still won over the Cleveland Browns. And I just think this is a big mismatch. I think the DeAndre Hopkins, J.J. Watt are going to have a big chip on their shoulder. Going to want to really bring the pain to the Houston Texans. And I think the fans of the Houston Texans, it stinks for the fans. Their team stinks. Right now they're left in limbo. They still have Deshaun Watson. He's not playing. They don't know if he'll be traded before the trade deadline that's coming up soon. And I just think Arizona, big mismatch. Arizona going to crush the Houston Texans. Not going to be close at all. I'll go with 38-17. They win by 21 points, 3 touchdowns. Might be even more than that. Arizona's win 38-17. Crush the Houston Texans. Arizona remains undefeated at 7-0. 10 games left in the season. Perfect season. Fingers crossed. I don't think they'll finish perfect because I think the following week they're going to play Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. I think the Packers have a good chance to beat them, but for one more week, the 1972 Miami Dolphins, their undefeated record, last undefeated team for a full season because the Patriots lost the Super Bowl with Brady in 2007 against the Giants when they were heavy favorites. They're going to have to be a little nervous for one more week because I think Arizona crushes the stinky Houston Texans 38-17, 4:25 on CBS. 4:25 on CBS, the Chicago Bears, at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Bears beat the Buccaneers last year, but then Brady, the Buccaneers, caught fire. They went on that great run and won their Super Bowl. The Bears playing better with Justin Fields, running and throwing the ball, doing a pretty good job as a rookie. But I think in the end, the Bears 3-3 played solid, better than I thought they would. Glad they're sticking with Justin Fields. Andy Dalton, maybe he'll be traded to contender later in the year. Even Cam Newton might be now more desirable to be traded because not traded. He's a free agent after the Patriots cut him in trade camp. But now that says he's been COVID vaccinated, fully vaccinated now, some teams might be willing to bring him in. So we'll see what happens with Cam Newton. And Nick Foles is like the third string quarterback of the Bears that doesn't get to play after winning the MVP, Super Bowl MVP a few years ago with the Eagles, or Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And must feel like just to scare Tom Brady, you should whip out Nick Foles to be the star quarterback, or at least for a few snaps, and let him shiver. Remember that Super Bowl, a tough Super Bowl loss that he had to the Eagles a few years back when Nick Foles was under center. But Justin Fields, he's going to try and do the best he can. It will be running and throw the ball. Khalil Mack of that Bears defense is solid. But I think in the end, unless they make Tom Brady very uncomfortable, which he doesn't like to be hit around, and that's understandable, I think in the end, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to crush the Bears. Brady and the Buccaneers had a lot of rest because they played last Thursday. They've had 10 days since their last game where they beat the Eagles. I think the Buccaneers, they'll win this game. I'll go with 27. I'll go with 27-10. They win by 17 points over the Bears. Buccaneers continue their winning ways and still have a great chance to repeat as Super Bowl champions this year. 8:20 on NBC. Interesting matchup. San Francisco 49ers will be hosting the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts got a much-needed win last week against a stinky team. I think it was against the Miami Dolphins. I think it was. They were both desperate teams to get a win. Colts found a way to get a win. Carson Wentz still injury prone and still inconsistent, but when he gets time to throw, he's still a very talented quarterback. When he's his accuracy needs a little bit of improvement, but when he's clicking, he's doing a great job. But he just can't stay healthy usually. It is also very consistent in what he can do and can't do. The sky's the limit with his talent. So it'll be interesting. Very soon, November 17th will be that in-season Hard Knocks on HBO for the Colts. But I still think the Colts with championship, at least playoff aspirations, so the season, I think they're going to fall short. 49ers, they're going to get, I think Trey Lance, their young rookie quarterback, is hurt. They're getting Jimmy Garoppolo back. He's healthy, which is also a guy you can't really rely on because he gets constantly hurt. But I think the 49ers at home, San Francisco, Kyle Shanahan, his dynamic offense will be clicking. I think Jimmy Garoppolo will do what he needs to do. Healthy, he'll make a few big passes. The defense will be strong. The running game will be strong. I think the 49ers will beat Carson Wentz and the Colts. I'll say it was close for a little while. They pull away later on. I'll go with 27-22, 49ers win by 5 over the Colts. Sunday Night Football, 8:20 NBC. Finally, Monday Night Football, October 25th, 8:15 ESPN. And hallelujah, 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 the Manning brothers are back. Who cares about the ESPN showing of the game? I want to watch ESPN2, Peyton Manning, Eli Manning, with all these funny guests they have in entertainment and the pro sports world. It's must-see television. You gotta watch it. Eli Manning flipped and showed the double barrel bird, stuck up middle fingers a few weeks ago. They haven't done it in a few weeks, but I'm very excited to see Eli Manning and Peyton Manning back in the house and from their couches making very entertaining football coverage for Monday Night Football. New Orleans Saints, Jameis Winston, Sean Payton with all their offensive firepower on the road against the Seattle Seahawks with the 12th man. The Seattle fans are going to be pumped, but in the end, they might be better off if they sign Cam Newton while they wait for the great Russell Wilson to come back healthy. I think if Russell Wilson was healthy, Pete Carroll's Seahawks would be definitely favored and hope to win this. But with Geno Smith, I saw him play enough with the Jets. He'll make a few nice plays. I saw what he did last week against the Steelers and what he did for year after year with the Jets. He's inconsistent. He's turnover prone between interceptions and fumbles. You can't rely on Geno Smith for the long term. I think New Orleans Saints, Jameis Winston, Sean Payton, they caught a nice break that Russell Wilson, unfortunately, is out. Missed it last week, his first game in his 10-year pro career. Just disappointed to not see a great player like Russell Wilson be able to play because of the injury. Hopefully he'll be back better than ever, healthy soon. But New Orleans Saints easily going to beat the Seattle Seahawks. I know the crowd will be loud, but it'll be tough to hear with the 12th man. But I think Jameis Winston, Sean Payton, Kamara, and the Saints, too much there. Defense will do enough. And I don't trust the turnover-prone Geno Smith, the quarterback, with what he did with the Jets and now with the Seahawks in his 2 weeks to get a chance to play. I'm going to go with the New Orleans Saints. They're going to win. I'll go 27-17, win by 10 points over the Seattle Seahawks. So those are my picks for Week 7. Take two, got me the morning. It's just not a tuba. Get down and things that nature. Hustle vista, baby. Get to the chopper. And then I say, she is for cookie. That's good enough for me. She is for cookie. That's good enough for me. So those are our picks. Quickly, I'll rattle them off again. Browns, of course, won that Thursday Night Football. I'll go with Carolina over the Giants. Patriots over the Jets. Titans over the Chiefs. Packers over Washington. Falcons over the Dolphins. Ravens over the Bengals. Rams over the Lions. Raiders over the Eagles. Cardinals over the Texans. Buccaneers over the Bears, 49ers over the Colts, and last but not least, the Saints over the Seattle Seahawks. So those are our Week 7 NFL predictions. We'd love to hear from you, whether you agree, disagrey. Love to hear from you right here on the DJ Roscoe Sports Show, your home for your favorite sports and entertainment talk. Like I said, World Series going to start on Tuesday. Hopefully we'll go the distance so we get as much baseball as possible. We see them freeze in early November. If it goes to Game 7, go to November 3rd past Halloween. And you'll have Houston Astros and the Atlanta Braves like they'll be the World Series. Astros, I think, win that in 6 games. Win it for Dusty Baker and company, and they like to play the villain role. They'll say we won it, whether we cheated or not. Still can't stand them, but Astros, I think, are going to win that series in 6 games. Hockey and basketball back in full force, with all the crazy stuff around scandals around them and some of the situations. Fun to see hockey on ESPN TNT. Wayne Gretzky with his TNT coverage, that's very exciting. They even had Charles Barkley in it, one of the first the open night of hockey on TNT, and they were teaching him how to play hockey, which was fun. So hockey, basketball. Fun to see those back. Seattle Kraken had their first first game at home ever. Not the same great expansion like the Vegas the Golden Knights have been, with how great they've been the first few years of the expansion franchise. But excited to see hockey in Seattle. They're going to struggle, and they're going to probably be pretty bad this year. But home opener tonight, should be excited to cheer them on. The Seattle Kraken, I love their logo. I have some of their shirts, and pick up some of the merchandise. Looks really cool. Flyers dropped a tough one though, 4-2 to the Florida Panthers. Want to mention that. But Penguins won 7-1 over the Toronto Maple Leafs. Maybe Penguins playing at home this week on Wednesday night. They're on the road tomorrow and home Wilkes-Barre on Wednesday. So hockey, basketball, baseball World Series, and then football, college, and the NFL. It's just a lot of great stuff. And I'm covering high school football on Fridays, helping out Penn State Square with their sports coverage. And love talking to you on DJ Roscoe Sports Show each and every week. Movies, shows. What is it this week? The remake of Dune from the classic sci-fi novel. That's in the movie theaters, HBO Max. That looks like a very entertaining time. Timothy Chalamet, Jason Momoa from Aquaman, Josh Brolin from the Avengers, as Thanos is in it. So Dune's out this week. Check that out. The new Sopranos prequel movie still out on HBO Max in the movie theaters. Venom movie, the new James Bond movie, last one, Daniel Craig as the star as James Bond, that's still out. The Halloween Kills movie's out. I'm sure that's gonna do great and get ready for Halloween. Spooky during this time. Everyone dressed up. Hopefully have a fun, safe trunk or treat. Have a great time with your kids. It's all about the kids with this because they love it. Dress it up. And I love dressing up. My daughter's going to be Ghost Spidey, and my son's going to be Spider-Man. For the Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, the new show on Disney Junior. I'm going to be, I guess, Spin, Miles Morales. I'll wear a Spider-Man mask, and we'll go trick-or-treat together, which is already next Sunday, October 31st, and we'll have a Halloween parade next week at our school. Dressing up in costumes. Going to be very excited. And some trick-or-treats throughout the week. So, enjoy your candy. Make sure your kids get a lot of good, tasty candy. Make sure they have a fun time, dress up for Halloween, and make sure you take a lot of your kids' candy for Halloween. You get them a lot of the candy, you have them have a fun time, and then while they're sleeping, you at least take half of that candy so you can enjoy some tasty Halloween candy. So it's going to be great stuff. Great movies, great shows coming back. Squid Game, everyone's talking about Netflix. You want to check that out. Turner Hooch on Disney Plus. Just entertaining. I'm still watching Friday Night Lights on Netflix. So many great things on movies and shows. And do this week coming out. And now get ready for Halloween. The new Halloween movie came out. So keep it locked. DJ Roscoe Sports Show, your home for sports and entertainment talk. I want to sing a quick song to my amazing wife, Abby. Love you all my heart. Beautiful, handsome son, LJ. And my beautiful daughter, Lorelai. Love you guys with all my heart. We had a great time at Whistle Pig at the picking our pumpkins at the pumpkin patch at the farm a few days ago. Got to go tractor ride. My little boy would say, tractor. He got his pumpkin and he was having a great time. And my daughter loves apple cider and the cookies with the little candy corn. She loves candy corn. Love or hate. Some people love candy corn, some people hate it. I enjoy it. She likes it too. My wife can't stand it. She hates it. I'm going to sing a beautiful song to my amazing family. I'm going to sing You Make Loving You Easy. It's our wedding song from Zach Brown. You make loving you all I want to do. Every little smile and every single touch. George Costanza reminds me just how much it makes loving you easy. I'll sing it again. Please don't, she says. My wife likes to say, please don't sing. Easy. Thank you, Zach Brown, for that great wedding song. Thank you, my beautiful wife. They're right there in the picture. Beautiful wife, Abby. My son, LJ. My beautiful daughter, Lorelai. And, of course, me, the crazy dad of the family, DJ Roscoe. So, keep it locked to your favorite sports and entertainment talk. DJ Roscoe Sports Show. Each and every week, we give our football picks every week. Week 7 NFL picks we did this week. We talk about college football, basketball, hockey, baseball playoffs now in the World Series, and movies and shows, everything in between. Keep it locked. DJ Roscoe Sports. Adele's new album's coming out November 19th. Sounds great. Her new, her first single that's been on the radio. Very, sad, dramatic music like you expect, but very good music. But keep it locked. And Zach Brown's new CD. Check that out as well. Keep it locked. DJ Roscoe Sports Show. Your home for your favorite sports and entertainment talk. Right here, DJ Roscoe Sports Show. Be down, be square. Take two, call me in the morning. It's not a tuba. Have a great week, everyone. Take care. Happy birthday to Gigi, to our my wife's grandma. On Tuesday's her birthday. We want to celebrate that. So happy birthday to her. My parents will have a fun time at the Bill Maher Show in Bethlehem at the casino tomorrow on Sunday. What else is there this week? I'm trying to think of all the things. It doesn't matter at this point. Trunk or treats, fun things, Halloween. Enjoy Halloween. Have a great time with your little ones, and have a great time trick or treating. Be safe. Have a great time, and keep it locked. Love each other. We're more alike than we are different. Stay together. Show each other the love. Be nice. Be kind and respectful to everyone. And keep it locked to your favorite for all your favorite sports and entertainment talk each every week. A kinder, gentler place. We talk about it here, and we try to lighten the mood. But no matter how crazy life can get out there, we try to have a fun time here each every week. DJ Roscoe Sports Show. Have a great weekend, everyone, and take care, everyone. Bye bye.